Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Technology Accelerators. On this beautiful Tuesday, sunny day in Calgary. Feels like summer's finally arrived, which is awesome. It's really warm today, so good to see a few of you joining here just on the chat, and a couple of questions popping in as well around how we can use AI to save time and grow our businesses. And this is a bit more personal for me as well, because as I grow my business and understand how I want to scale and save time and look to do bigger things, AI is clearly an important factor of that. So right now, I'm really interested and fascinated by how technology is improving our lives and the options out there. And one of the things I find is that there's so much choice. Where do we go? There's AI tools popping up all the time. What do we do next? So what I wanted to do is just share some of the findings I have, my journey around growing my business using AI, and also some of the learnings to date, and also share some examples of exactly what I'm doing with AI in the hope that you guys can use it too. You folks out there can use these AI tools right now. But just before we start, I'm just going to check the chat just to see. Okay, a couple of folks popping in there. So yeah, thanks for joining. Really appreciate you contributing here and coming in, and a couple of questions coming in as well. I've received a couple of questions prior, and I want to make sure I answer those. So before I jump into it, let's just take a step back. So what I want to do now is just share with you how we work with AI, because a lot of folks jump into the technology straight away. And although it can save us time and grow your business, the first thing you need to do is to make sure that you're crystal clear on exactly why you want to use AI. And this is the same for any technology project, any technology solution, any technology adoption. Anytime we start innovation or want to accelerate growth, create efficiencies, save cost, it involves technology. But jumping to the technology is the number one mistake I see out there for many, many people, my clients, myself included. Sometimes we get distracted by the shiny objects. We want to start using that technology because it looks cool and has some fascinating and exciting features. But always take that step back and start with the goals, pain points, drivers. What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to do with your business, or what problem are you trying to solve, or what do you need to tackle right now? Be crystal clear on that. So, for example, it could be automating something to save time, which is the topic of this podcast and this show, this LinkedIn Live around AI. If you want to grow the business, what is it specifically? Is it increased revenue? Is it better customer service? Is it faster turnaround on sales? Is it reducing waste on your production line? Is it freeing up your accountants from the financial close process so they can spend time on more strategic projects? There's a whole host of problems you can solve, but you need to narrow it down, because there's a solution out there for everything, and you can't solve everything. You need to be very specific and learn from one. And my advice is always pick one and go with it, and then work through it. So for the purpose of this show today, what we're going to actually do is work through an example based on finances, based on communication, based on a CFO or a finance lead wanting to share updated financials with his team or her team, and how they're using AI to build that out. So what we're going to do is, one second, just make sure I did it. So we're going to work through this list of bullet points here. We're going to save time growing your business using 4 AI tools, which I think are most useful right now for this scenario where we're building and growing business and saving time. My list was originally 10 AI tools, and that just felt too overwhelming. So I wanted to boil it down to 4 tools, which I think are going to have the most impact right now, based on this case study, and things that you can use right now as well. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Microsoft Copilot, which I don't believe has actually been released yet, but it's very close, and it's fascinating where Microsoft are taking this. I think this is since their collaboration with ChatGPT. Effectively, they're applying ChatGPT to their accounting system, their Microsoft Dynamics suite. So I want to just quickly dig into that. Then we're going to talk about Excel Formula Bot. So I love this one because it breaks down Excel formulas into plain English, or takes plain English and puts it into Excel formulas, which I think it's an amazing tool. Then we are going to talk about ChatGPT, because it is so prevalent out there, and it's also very, very useful. And I'm going to show you a couple of real life examples that I've used it for right now. And then the last one is poised.com. So this is really good around helping you gain executive presence. So this is not only a tool, but it's also helping you build your careers. And I think this is a really exciting tool to share with you as well. So let's start with Microsoft Copilot. So right now, I'm just going to present a different screen just so we can see this. So let's go here. So right now, let me just check how this works in terms of sharing this. Is that scroll? Yep. So let me make that a bit bigger so everyone can see it. There. So this is Microsoft Dynamics, which is an accounting system, an ERP, enterprise resource planning tool, by Microsoft to help scale out businesses. Of course, they have a CRM, a customer relationship management tool, and the ERP, enterprise relationship management, resource management tool, planning. And what they're doing now is they're bringing AI to this. So what they've actually done is start to say, we're bringing a tool called Copilot right here. Copilot is going to be linked into your Microsoft suite of applications to start doing AI on your business data. So this is really, really exciting because it's taking the ChatGPT concept, which ChatGPT looks at the internet and everything and says, okay, let's apply ChatGPT like AI to your business data. So this is really, really exciting because if it's applied to your accounting data or your customer relationship data, your marketing data, it starts to give you very specific insights on how you can grow your business. So they actually go into a few examples here as well around customer service, the sales, and then also starts to highlight customer insights and marketing. So trends in terms of how customers are using your platform, what products they're buying. And then it gets into the business central, which is the accounting side of things around supply chain, and also the financials. And you can see here they refer to things like weather, financials, geography that might be impacting the supply chain. So what they're doing is they're taking external factors, combining that with your business data, and then providing insights in terms of you might want to stock up because there's a storm coming, is a very well-used example, or you might have there might have some supply chain issues because of inclement bad weather coming along. So this is where it's helping you run your business better, but more importantly, serve your customers better. So there might be certain products that are based on the economic conditions that are more popular at the moment. People might be more focused on saving cost in coming up to a pretending recession versus growth when there's the economy is stronger. So this is really exciting because Microsoft as a suite is very integrated. I do like how Microsoft bring everything together when you start bringing your applications together all the way down to your Office suite, to Teams, to the Power Apps and Power BI. They do a very, very good at bringing this all together. So by adding on their own version of ChatGPT and AI, that will start to bring in data and information from all of your suite of applications. So I think this is a really exciting tool, actually, and there's a video here to go into more detail as well. But this is why I wanted to start with this first example around Microsoft Copilot, because it gives a real life example of where if we apply Copilot to our financial data, we as a business growing, we might need to better understand our financials. So even if you're an experienced accountant or perhaps in IT or somewhere, or in marketing or sales, this is where it can help you understand more aspects of the business. So if one of your goals is to understand the financials better, you can then use the dynamics to start giving that information, that AI. And then that then brings me on to the next AI tool, which I want to share with you. So the next AI tool that I want to share is the Excel Formula Bot. So this is this tool here, which is doing an awesome job. And it's, by the way, there's a free trial with this right now, which is really, really good. So I've actually signed up and I'm using it right now, and I can't recommend it enough. So for the free trial, you get 5 formulas per month. So what does that mean? And this is a quick summary here. Effectively, you can translate your plain English or plain language problem into a Excel formula. And then likewise, you can also take your Excel formula and it will describe it in plain English. So I use this when typically when I'm being given a spreadsheet of complex financials and I see these formulas in these cells and I don't quite understand how they're getting to that. Another example is where I'm creating a Gantt timeline or schedule for my project teams when we're implementing a new technology. I like to use Excel to show that Gantt timeline because MS Project isn't available to everyone. So doing it in Excel is a good way to do that. And some of the formulas around calculating the schedule can get a bit complicated and sometimes they break. Sometimes you inherit a spreadsheet and there's a broken formula in there, or it's pulling some information that you're not sure about. Or if you just want to audit a spreadsheet with your financial data in it, you can put the formula into this and it will tell you the plain English of what it means and which columns, which data it's pulling together. So I think this is an awesome tool, folks. And you can see from this demo, it's very, very easy to use. You can explain this formula. You can then put it, and it also, by the way, uses Google Sheets as well. It doesn't have to be just Excel. And they also, I can see here, they're actually starting to move into SQL as well, SQL language as well. And this is a big topic because a lot of companies are using AI to create code to help solve business problems. So this is another AI tool which makes that coding that much easier for you because you can get into some really complex Excel formulas. And it's a matter of time before they start to bring in or expand this into DAX, which is a Power BI coding tool, and also you could then start to get into Python and other data analytics type formulas and coding. So that then brings this coding to pretty much anyone who wants to start doing it to then use to grow their business. So really excited by this one as well. Just going to quickly check the chat and see the questions. See if I'm just checking and making sure I covered all the questions that are coming in. So yeah, that's working out well. Okay, answering those. Okay, so the example here is we talked about Dynamics and Copilot, analyzing your accounting and financial data. Then you get this data and you want to understand the formulas. And this is where this Excel formula bot comes in to start helping you understand that complex financial spreadsheet. And maybe it's a balance sheet you want to explain. So then you want to take it to the next step further. Again, remember, we're always using AI to solve a problem. So this problem right now is we have some financial information in a spreadsheet, and then we want to share that information with our teams. We want to create a communication. And of course, this is where I like to use ChatGPT. So the secret to using ChatGPT, if you don't already know it, is how well you prompt the ChatGPT to create the response. So as you can see here, what I'm doing is you have to prompt it in a very specific way. And this text is a little small, so let me just make this a bit bigger. Can do that. Yeah, we'll do it that way. I don't think it makes it much bigger, but either way, I'll explain this as we go through. So when you're prompting ChatGPT, you want to make sure it's very specific. Just saying I want a communication about financial statements is too broad. So what you'll see here is I've said, okay, ChatGPT, act like a CFO, Chief Financial Officer of a mid-sized energy company and create a communication to the staff, sharing great news about the higher than expected revenue and growth. So this is an example of a communication which we may have to write. Could be about anything. We could be announcing a new team member, which I'm going to show you next around a project manager. It could be about announcing a summer event or a team building exercise, or could be challenging news around having to let a member of staff go. The point is you can use ChatGPT to help frame your thinking. In all my experience of using ChatGPT, and you can see from the side here, we've used it many, many times. I don't use it specifically every time, but what I use it for is to prompt my thinking, to help me build out my messaging. So for example, here, when we're having a CFO share some great news, that it's put together this about, I'm thrilled to announce that the company has surpassed the revenue, the financial report is exceeding expectations, we're on a good growth trajectory. So it's generic information, but what it's doing is starting to build out some of the context and some of the topics that you would use in your communication to your staff. So it gives you some good ideas around wording, some structure, some things you can use. This is quite formal because it's sincerely, and it starts with dear team. So what I would typically do next is generate the response in a conversational, casual manner. Then it will regenerate the response with a bit more relaxed attitude, so relaxed and more conversational. So then you can take the more formal one, the more casual one, and start to merge them together. So as you'll see here, this is live, and ChatGPT, I think, is deliberately starting to get busy. I don't have a upgraded plan, and because right up to the last few days, it was very, very responsive, and it does vary by day and time by time. But let me show an example of where I've done this before. So it's kicked off now. So here you go. So it's changed the tone to be more conversational and more casual and chatty, to say, hey, everyone, guess what? Our company has smashed our revenue targets in the last quarter. So again, it's almost gone too far now. It's gone too far the other way. It's not really something I would send to my team because it's a bit too relaxed for my style. But again, you can keep working with it. You can regenerate the response over and over again. And then you can say if it's better or worse. So this is where I love it. It starts to brainstorm. It's like a working partner for creating communications. And here's an example of where I've used it before. So I was introducing here helping one of my clients introduce a new project manager to the team. So again, the prompting is everything, folks. So as a senior director of a complex IT project, it's an email communication for the project team introducing the new project manager because we were bringing them in halfway through. The message needs to be sensitive and considerate of all the hard work done to date because the team was doing an awesome job, but we were bringing in this new project manager, and we were recognizing their success and then assuring them that the change will not disrupt delivery. So they created this summary here, which was pretty good. But I said, okay, let's reword this with more motivational and inspirational language because this was a bit dry, it was a bit factual, didn't really grab for me. So I rewrote it, or regenerate, and actually did this 3 times. You can see there with some more inspirational words like I'm thrilled and we can tackle any challenge to achieve any goals we set our mind to. So again, a little bit too far the other way in terms of inspirational, but what it did is it gave me some great edit tools, great text I could then take away and edit to create the final version. So it was a good working partner, and it did save me quite a bit of time. And I will just show you one more example here as well. Is I'm doing a speaking event on storytelling for data. And is that not responding? So anyway, there we go. So what I wanted to do was create an acronym of SHOW. So I'm using storytelling to help with data analytics and data analysis. So I wanted to use the acronym of SHOW for each of the 4 points. So I asked ChatGPT to use the acronym of SHOW, create 4 points of a presentation about storytelling with data. And so it came up with them. It came up with the start with a clear message, highlight your data points, organize your data, and then weave a narrative. So the SHOW acronym then came to life. I didn't use this exactly, but it was a really good start for me to use this for my presentation. And you can see here, I did this a couple of times. So I said, the first time it said start with a clear story, highlight your insights, organize your data, and then weave it together. And so when I regenerated it, I actually used a combination of both to bring that up. So it actually came back with 2, which I thought were really good. And I've then taken those into that presentation I'm going to create for my speaking. So again, all comes down to how you use it. It's a really good working partner tool. So the 4th tool around growing your business and saving time, how to scale and ultimately create more efficiencies is you have all this information. We've worked through maybe using Microsoft Dynamics Copilot to bring together the information. We've used the Excel Formula Buddy to really understand that financial information. We've now used ChatGPT to, in this example, create a communication we can use with our team. The next thing we're going to do we're developing our careers and want to create executive presence and share this information with our teams, is we want to be a better speaker. We want to be more engaging. So, and this is where I really like poised.com or Poised AI, which is almost like a monitor for your speaking on video calls and meetings to then track how energetic you are, how many filler words you're using, how much confidence you have. So you'll see from this demo on the side here, it's a really great way of just plugging in information, giving you real-time feedback on how you present in meetings and how your conversation is and how many times you're contributing. And then it also gives you a transcript to tell you what you're doing too many of. There's too many ums, ahs, too many filler words, too many gaps, which I think is awesome. So this is really, really good to help you in real time understand exactly how you're presenting, how you're coming across, your executive presence. And again, it's based on the problem you're trying to solve. If you want to be a better presenter, then you'll look for a tool to help you do that, like poised.com. Whereas if you just happen to come across this tool, again, you don't want to apply it just because, you want to have a specific reason. So yeah, so I encourage you to check out these tools. I think they're fascinating. It's really, really inspiring to see where this AI tools are going. This is early days, folks. Remember, we've only really had ChatGPT come on the scene for the first 5-6 months. So imagine where this is going to go in 5 or 6 years, as we start to build out more AI tools and the capabilities and start to bring it all together. And I think it's a fascinating, exciting future to help us learn more. There's also a lot of questions. Let me just jump back to the main chat here as well. Just check the questions coming in as well there. So what I'll do, we'll just jump back to the points, because I don't want to go back to where we started here, folks. Just remember where we are and how we started with all this, because it's really, really important to make sure that we ultimately have our goals, our pain points and drivers. That's point number one. And then when we're saving time growing our business with AI, there are a number of tools out there. In this example, we were building out financial information to share with our team, better understanding it through Excel Formula Bot, and then using ChatGPT to create the communication, and then using poised.com to make sure we're better speakers and give real-time feedback on how we build that out. And the final point I just want to finish on as well is around how there's a lot of concern around AI replacing our jobs and replacing our careers and taking over. I'm actually quite the opposite of that. I don't think that's the case at all. I think AI will actually help us learn more new things, will help us do a better job, but we have to embrace it. We have to start learning to use these tools in the best way, because it helps us as a career and our own in our own careers, and helps us boost our businesses. So this is where, for example, on poised.com, where it's helping us have more executive presence. So again, don't be worried about how this is going to take over. Use these tools, embrace them, just do a bit of research on them, play around with them. A lot of them are free, and just see how it can help your own business, because at the end of the day, everyone else is going to start using these. So the sooner you get on board with this and start working with it, you'll have that advantage over the people who don't, and then you can help other people with it as well. And that's the goal of these shows that I do, is to share what I'm learning, going through, or like my journey that I'm working on, and also hopefully it will help you in terms of understanding how you can use these tools to save time and grow your business. So we'll just quickly check the chat again to see if there's any other new comments come in. So yeah. Okay, yeah, great work. Thank you for that. Thank you for the compliments there as well, the explanation on these 4 tools. Yep, awesome. So I think we've covered that. We didn't have any specific questions come in on recently. So again, reach out, folks, if you have any questions. Always happy to chat more on this. And if you want to book a free game plan call, reach out to me. The link below will include how to book time with me to have a more detailed chat and create a specific game plan for you and your business. Always happy to do that for, of course, no charge, just to get you started. I always like to share and add value. And with that, I want to say thank you for joining me today. Always appreciate your time, because at the end of the day, we are a special group of technology enthusiasts. We love technology, love the adoption, and sometimes it is complex, but it doesn't have to be. It should be straightforward, and that's why we're here now. I'm here always cheering you on. So continue to push, grow, and scale to make a difference with technology. And we'll see you in the next episode.